Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to tell you the story of my New York City trip, like 3-4 years ago. Actually, like last year. So, I'm just going to start off the story like this. So, before I went to New York City with my dad, I wanted to see before I went to New York City with my dad, I went to Chicago with my whole family, and they had a ship there called Tall Ship Windy. And I got some, they let us take a ride on that ship. So I went on it and rode it for like 2 hours or something. But when I was done with the ride there, I wanted to get on an actual sailing ship. So like a few months later, I said to my dad, "Hey Dad, there's a ship in New York City, and I wanted to see, I don't remember the story because it was a long time ago, but I said to my dad, "Hey Dad, there's a ship in New York City called the Raver Tree. Can we go to that?" And he said, "Sure." Then my dad and I took a trip to New York City. So we can go on the sailing ship. And like as soon as I got into the actual city, this might sound cheesy, but I was surprised on how tall the buildings were, because it's been a few years since I've been there, and I've been there many times. And I've also only looked at New York City through Google Maps, through Google Earth. But Google Earth doesn't actually put the buildings to scale, like their actual size. And when I got to New York City, the buildings were so much taller than I thought. The buildings were so much taller than I thought. And so, when we got to New York City, we decided to go to the Empire State Building. And we went up that and looked around the city from up there. And we went to the 102nd floor as well. But as my dad and I got done, I wanted a model of the Empire State Building. And so there was a gift shop right as you go out. Right as you start going out the building. if that makes sense. And they had models of the Empire State Building, of course, inside the Empire State Building. And so I wanted the tallest model of the Empire State Building that they had, but I think that was like $120 or something. So I got the second tallest model of the Empire State Building, and this is where it gets interesting. So as I went to check out the building, like at the desk, and after I paid for the model, they put it in the cashiers put it in a box, and there's like 2 or 3 people packaging the model. But I've never seen anyone do this before. But as they were just about to finish packaging the model, they actually taped handles onto the box. Like, they made handles out of tape onto the box, and you can carry it from there. And I thought that was so funny to me. Then we went to the apartment that we were staying for like 2 nights or something. And then a few hours later we went to the Freedom Tower. And this is what I don't get about New York City. About 2 things. I'll explain the second thing later into the story. But the first thing that I don't get about New York City is why there aren't any good models of the Freedom Tower and only the Empire State Building. I mean, models of the Freedom Tower looks like a box. A box with an antenna on top with no detail. So I wanted to go up to the top of the Freedom Tower, and so I did with my dad, of course, and I went in the elevator of the Freedom Tower, and the elevator inside the Freedom Tower is so cool, because as you go up, basically at the bottom, it gets like to the history. Like, it shows you what New York City used to look like. And as you get higher and higher up the building, it starts to show you what New York City looks like from like 1900s to now. Like, as you get higher up the building. And here's what I have to say about New York City. And so we looked around the city from up there, and then we went back down again and I was getting hungry, so Dad and I stopped for pizza, and I needed to go to the bathroom during the lunch break, of course. So I went to the grocery store bathroom, and as I got into as I was doing my business in the bathroom, this is rude. This is rude. Some New Yorkers actually tried to get into the bathroom that I was in. I mean, one New Yorker tried to get into the bathroom that I was in. And this is the second thing that I don't get about New York City. And I kind of only explained it, but this is what I don't get about New York City. Is if New Yorkers cannot get into the building, if New Yorkers cannot get into the bathroom, they would spend, however long it takes them to finally get in. They would actually see what's wrong with the bathroom, and they would try to open the bathroom when I was only in there. That actually happened. So I went back to the pizza place, waiting for my dad to finish eating. Then after we got done eating, we went to the Waver Tree, it's called. And it's actually a big, giant sailing ship. This is what it looks like. The Waver Tree ship. There we go. I went. Oh, this is a good photo. So, I don't know if you can. Oh, yeah, you can see that. There you go. There we go. So, it didn't have all these flags on it, but that is what I went on. Oh, this is better. This is what I went on. And when I was walking up to the ship, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the ship. When I saw that ship for the first time, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh. It was my dream. Okay, after I went to Chicago to go on the tall ship Windy, it was my dream to go on an actual sailing ship. And you can find this on my Instagram. You can find all the New York City photos including the ship, on my Instagram. Which, go follow me, by the way. Go follow me at Matt Westy Organist. And here's the most amazing part of the whole ship experience is I wanted to go on the Wavertree, and my dad and I walked up to the tent to go on. And as I was wanting to go on, I guess, the most amazing part is you didn't have to pay a dime. You didn't have to pay a penny. It was free to go on the ship. Or at least for me. It was free for me to go on the ship. And wow, wow. Like every time I talk about the Wavertree ship in New York City, I couldn't believe that I went on that ship. Like, I was surprised that it was that big, too. And it's like 306 feet long. And the ship kind of scared me, too, when I was walking up. Because, you know how New York City is covered is buildings? Well, I was walking down the buildings, and it was boom, right there. So, after we went to the ship, we went on one of the trains, like under the city. And we took that back. We took that when we went to the Freedom Tower. But we took that back. And yeah. And as we got back to the apartment, I couldn't stop looking at the view. Like, I literally couldn't stop looking at the view. Because no view is better than New York City. Especially when you're up high. No view is better than New York City. I'm just saying. And that was my New York City story. I hope you guys liked the story. If you want to hear more stories like this one, then hit the bell, click the notification bell to never miss an upload. Subscribe to the channel and also like the video while you're at it. And yeah, that's all for me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you later. Bye.